I'm in this world alone. This race, I'm running it by myself. Nobody knows the real thing about me, how hard I really push in. And I don't care if they do. I don't need anybody's validation, man. I'm an introvert. I live in my own lane, and I thrive in that darkness. That right there is my fucking edge, knowing damn well there's no one out there grinding harder than me. And if they are, fuck it. I'll still outwork them. If I know you're out there, I'll make sure the people who matter know I'm coming for you too. That's the mentality. This whole game. It's a mental war. You've got to learn to flip the fucking switch. Shut off all that bullshit technology, go dark and embrace the grind. What I mean is you've got to shut down the noise, the distractions, and excuses. Everybody loves being around people shooting the shit, hitting parties, feeling good. But you know what's really fucking powerful? Being okay with being alone. Being okay with being uncomfortable. Feeling fucking miserable and still pushing forward. It's okay to be unhappy. It's okay to feel like shit sometimes. That's life, man. The real question is, what the fuck are you going to do about it? That's when you've got to get real with yourself. Who the hell are you? Not the fake ass version you put out to the world, the real you. Strip it down, get raw, and get brutally honest. That process, it's going to hurt. You'll have to go to some dark, nasty places in your mind. It might take months, maybe years, but you've got to figure it out. What's your purpose? What do you stand for? When you find that purpose, the work isn't done. It's just fucking starting. And most people quit right there because planning is easy. Sitting around writing goals, talking about shit, that's comfortable. But execution, that's the hard part. That's where pain lives. That's where failure fucks you over and over again. And you've got to get up, dust yourself off, and go back into the fire. Again. Nobody gave me the magic answer. Nobody handed me a blueprint. I had to look in the mirror one day and face the truth. You're on your fucking own, man. What the hell are you going to do about it? That's when the shift started. It didn't happen overnight. Hell no. I was 17 when I finally started taking my life seriously. I went to a recruiter's office thinking I'd turn things around, and the first thing that hit me, that damn ASVAB test. Failed it. Failed it again. Had one more shot, and that's when I decided to outwork every lazy excuse I'd been making. That was the moment I built my fucking work ethic. Because here's the truth. The most important step you'll ever take is the next one. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right fucking now. But most of you stuck. Feet buried in concrete, scared as hell to move. Scared to piss people off. Scared to stand out. Scared to walk away from that group that keeps you comfortable. And when you finally do, you're scared of what they'll say about you when you're gone. All that fear. That bullshit clouds your brain and screws with your thinking. Let me tell you something. You're always going to have haters. Always. Embrace them. If you could walk on water, those same assholes would say, it's just because you can't swim. That's how it is. So what? Shut the noise out. Embrace the fact that people don't like you. That's proof you're doing something right. This is how life works. The moment you decide to stop being average and start chasing something exceptional, people are going to hate on you. Why? Because your grind exposes their laziness. And in today's world, it's easier than ever to be a coward. Why? Instagram. Social media gives cowards a megaphone. They won't say shit to your face. They'll just post about you. But don't let that fucking nonsense get in your head. If you do, you'll start building a fake ass version of yourself just to please them. That's a one-way ticket to failure. If you don't break free of that shit, you'll never know who you really are. You'll never chase your own dreams. Instead, you'll spend your life living up to somebody else's expectations. You'll become their puppet. And when you do that, you lose your fucking power. Trust me, I've been there. Being accepted, that shit almost killed me. Here's what you've got to do. Figure out what you want in life. Shut off your phone, your computer, your TV. Sit your ass down in a quiet room by yourself and think. Ask yourself, where the fuck do I want to be tomorrow? Next year, 5 years from now? That's the shit that matters. But here's the thing. It takes discipline. Real discipline. Most people can't do that. They're so fucking addicted to the noise, to being connected, that they lose themselves in it. The world is moving 1,000 miles an hour and they're running in circles trying to keep up. But for what? To impress people who don't even give a damn about them. That's not living. You've got to take that time, go into that dark place in your mind and figure out who you are. Life created the version of you that's struggling right now. That version is not your fault. But here's the truth. No one is coming to save your ass. If you want to fix yourself, you've got to go back to where it all started. You've got to dig deep and face the pain, the trauma, all that ugly shit. And let me tell you, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy, but it's necessary. When you start climbing out of that hole, guess what? The people still stuck down there are going to try to pull you back. They'll remind you of who you used to be. They'll call you out, talk shit, try to drag you back into the darkness. That's the crabs in a bucket mentality. Let them hate. Keep climbing. You know who inspires me? People who block out the whole damn world to chase something they believe in. Take that guy Free Solo. Dude climbed a rock with no ropes. People call him crazy, but I see something else. He was willing to give up everything, family, friends, his fucking life, for a few hours of total focus. He wasn't thinking about what people thought. He wasn't worried about failure, and he damn sure wasn't looking for validation. That's what it takes. And to put yourself in that kind of place, you've got to be willing to lose everything. Most people can't even comprehend that. They stay safe with their feet planted on the ground. But here's the thing, people like him, people like me, we found something most people never will. We put ourselves in positions where failure isn't an option, where the stakes are so high that you have no choice but to rise above. That's what separates the greats from the rest. It's not about being fearless. It's about being willing to face the fear and keep fucking going. That's the dedication it takes. And that's the dedication this world is missing. Most of us fail in life because we're scared shitless of what everyone else is thinking about us. That's the raw truth. We live our lives trapped by the bullshit narratives other people feed us. And here's the thing, those same people projecting their negativity onto you, they're just scared cowards afraid to even try. Why? Because negativity is a damn virus and it spreads fast. These people will look you in the eye and say, man, you're crazy. Why the hell are you trying so hard? Just relax, chill, give it up. Screw that noise. When I hit rock bottom, I stopped giving a fuck about what anyone thought. I looked around and realized I've gone through hell and back. I've endured shit most people can't even imagine. I looked at the toughest people out there and said to myself, you don't scare me. I've built myself in fire. None of you can touch me. I stopped saying I don't belong here and started believing I was made for this shit. Who else could have taken the hand I was dealt, a mental sewer, and climbed out with nothing but grit, blood, sweat, and raw willpower? Who else could have faced that level of pain and said, fuck it. I'm still going to win. Every time life tried to knock me back down, I made a promise. I will never go back to that dark place. That became my new inner voice. I'm the baddest motherfucker on this planet. And you know what? After a while, I believed it because I earned it. All that pain, all those scars, they're mine. I own every single one. Those scars are proof of what I've been through and what I've overcome. They're not weaknesses, they're my armor. Once you flip the script on your pain, once you see that every shitty thing you've been through was actually training for the battles ahead, you start looking at your past differently. That's where you build your strength. That's where warriors are made. There have to be people like us in this world. People who've been to hell and decided, I'm not staying here. I'm fighting my way out. That's the mindset of a fucking warrior. My goal has always been to believe deep in my bones that I'm the hardest son of a bitch alive. That's what Cant Hurt Me is about. It's about taking your dream and beating it into reality no matter what stands in your way. The hard part isn't having the dream. It's grinding every damn day to make it real. People always ask me, how do you keep going? Because I took every ounce of fear, doubt, and insecurity inside me and I turned that shit into fuel. When I was 300 pounds and couldn't even look myself in the mirror, I didn't have any big goals. I was just a scared lying kid with no direction. But I faced those insecurities, stared down my fears, and found my drive in the pain. Everybody's going through something. Maybe you've been bullied. Maybe you're stressed, overweight, or broken by the shit the world throws at you. It's not just you. Yeah, you've added to the mess, but society's done its part too. For me, I had to create an indestructible mindset. I had to forge armor for my brain. And here's the thing. It's not just about telling yourself you're strong. It's about proving it through the work. Every time life tried to crush me, physically, mentally, spiritually, I told myself, you can't hurt me. That became my mantra. You can't fucking hurt me. I found my drive in my own pain and my doubt and my insecurities. And that's the most powerful weapon you'll ever have. When you can turn your struggles into strength, your fears into fire. When you can do that, you become unstoppable. Most of us don't believe we can achieve the impossible because we're too busy convincing ourselves we can't. We buy into that bullshit every single day. But let me tell you something. I found out we all have what it takes to break through. Every single one of us. You've got to be willing to outwork everybody. Not just in your neighborhood, not just at your job, every fucking body on the planet. That's the real challenge. It's not a 5-step plan or some feel-good mantra. It's blood, sweat, and tears every day. You have to kill your victim mentality. Callous your mind until there's no room for excuses. That's what I'm about. Empowering the underdog, showing people how to tap into the part of themselves they didn't even know existed. People ask me all the time, how do you do it? How do you fight those demons every damn day? Let me set the record straight. I fight them because they never fucking leave. They're there when I wake up, when I train, when I grind. And guess what? I'm not out here looking for trophies, love, or followers. Fuck all that. I'm chasing one thing. A feeling of victory over myself. The feeling that I've beaten the weakest parts of me into submission. The moment I realize I'm in this fight alone, this is my race, my battle, it all changed. Nobody truly knows how hard I go, and honestly, I don't give a damn if they do. I don't need validation. I'm an introvert and I thrive on that shit. I live for this grind, and I know deep down no one's working like me. And if they are, good. That just means I've got to level up even harder. That's the mentality. That's what separates the winners from the quitters. So why the fuck are we all waiting? What are we holding back for? You think the stars are going to align. You think life's going to hand you a miracle. Wake the hell up. There is no perfect time. The perfect time is now. You've got to go to war with yourself. And here's the brutal truth. That war might last 30 damn years. But guess what? When it's over, that's when you'll finally find peace. Until then, you'll keep chasing it like some desperate fool, flipping through feel-good bullshit books, hoping someone's nice little words will guide you through your pain. Spoiler alert, it won't. You're stuck in this fantasy land, telling yourself things will get better because someone said they would. You're out here searching for peace, thinking it's just going to show up. News flash. It doesn't work like that, man. Maybe for some people, sure. But if you're listening to this, you already know you're not like most people. You're barely scratching the surface of what life really is. Here's the thing. When I talk about suffering, people squirm. They don't want to hear it. That one word makes everybody uncomfortable. Hell, whenever I post about it, people lose their damn minds. But I'm not talking about misery for misery's sake. I'm not saying wake up every day hating life. What I'm saying is this: you've got to embrace your suffering. You've got to dip into that shit daily. Why? Because your past is full of scars, full of baggage, full of all the crap you've buried deep. And if you don't deal with it, it's going to deal with you. Life is the ultimate mind game, and guess who you're playing it against? Yourself. Is it fair? Fuck no. Is it real? Who cares? It works. That's how I survived the hardest training when everyone else was tapping out, when they were quitting. I was just warming up, man. Suffering is like failure. It's not the end, it's the beginning. To succeed, you've got to fail. And buried deep in your failures and your pain are all the answers. Every single answer to the questions life throws at you is hidden right there. The test is your life. The answers are in your suffering. You've got to live in it, face it, and learn from it. Think about working out. Most people hate the gym, but you don't need to live in there 24/7 to get in shape. You hit it for an hour and you move on. Suffering is the same. Spend an hour a day in it. Revisit your failures. Build a relationship with your pain, because that's where the truth lives. That's where your growth is waiting. When you flip your mindset and stop running from it, you'll find out just how powerful you can be. That's what happened to me. I made my mind and body connect, and I shut down every escape route. There was no plan B, no backup option. The only way out for me was death. I was either going to be a Navy SEAL or I was going to die trying. You don't need to wait until you're dead to figure out why your life is fucked up. Crack yourself open while you're alive. Dig into your brain and ask the hard questions. Why does my life suck? Why am I so afraid? Why do I hate myself? Don't ignore it. Face it. The answers are hiding in the cracks of your suffering. The scars, that's where the truth lives. Spend at least an hour a day studying those scars. Get real with yourself. All that hate, all that insecurity is poison. And if you don't deal with it, It's going to rot you from the inside out. Let me tell you how I live. I walk around with imaginary noise-canceling headphones on. I don't hear the bullshit. I don't hear the doubt. I don't hear the naysayers. All I hear is me, my voice, my mission. But most people are just dipping their toes in the water, scared of how cold it is, scared of how hard it's going to be. And then they wonder why they're stuck. Here's the truth you need to tattoo on your brain. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on your training. And if your training is weak, you're going to crumble every damn time. Life's going to punch you in the mouth and you're going to fall flat because you weren't ready. And you know what makes it worse? We let other people into our heads. We let their doubts, their insecurities, their bullshit become ours. And then we start adding to it with our own negative self-talk. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. I can't do it. Let me tell you right now, if that's the conversation you're having with yourself, you're already done. Game over. Man, I used to be my own worst enemy. But you know what changed? I stopped letting that weak-ass voice control me. I started callousing my mind. I started building mental armor. You've got to get to a point where you can walk into a room full of people, and every single one of them is against you, doubting you, mocking you, trying to tear you down. And you just stand there and say, Roger that. Watch me. That's the kind of mental toughness you need in this world. And trust me, it's a tough world out there. But guess what? You've got to be tougher. Man, winning the battle in the morning is about one thing. Owning your shit before the world gets at you. Because once you step out that door, life is coming for you. And if you're not ready, it's going to knock you the fuck out. This is why I say don't grab your damn phone the second you wake up. Everyone does it. First thing in the morning, they check their notifications, scroll through their feed, maybe see some bad news. And now, boom, your day's already hijacked. You're reacting to the world instead of running it. You've already lost control. But if you wake up and win that first battle, if you handle your morning, make your bed, get your shit together, you step out the door with a victory in your pocket. You're already ahead. Sure, maybe the rest of the day sucks. Maybe you lose your job or have a shitty day, but you've already won something. You've already proved to yourself that you can control the controllable. On the flip side, if you hit that snooze button, you're stepping into the world already behind. You're defeated before you even start. And that shit builds up. One loss leads to another. And before you know it, you're buried under a mountain of failure that you created. Winning the morning isn't just about checking boxes. It's about building momentum. It's about proving to yourself I'm ready for whatever comes next. That mindset is what carries you through the day, through the hits, through the chaos. Man, a lot of people stop at the surface. They wake up, go through the motions, and never dig deeper. But if you want to find out who the fuck you really are, you've got to dive in. You've got to face yourself. Most people are scared of that. They're afraid of what they'll find when they look in the mirror. So they stay on the surface living a half-assed life. But let me tell you something. If you're not willing to face your fears, your failures, and your pain, you're never going to grow. I believe in visualizing the life you want. I believe in creating a world that doesn't exist yet, but in your mind is real. Because if you don't, you'll get to the end of your life and realize you left so much on the table. Enemy. It's real as hell. Every damn day I'm at war with myself. And let me tell you, I bring the fight every time. You got to find the tools to dominate your own mind. That's my tool. Doing shit that sucks. I'm a big believer in it. Every single day of your life, you've got to do something that makes you uncomfortable. That's the only way you're going to strengthen your mind. Every day you've got to push. You've got to figure out what you're really capable of. And here's the big ass question you've got to ask yourself. What all can you truly become? Stop doing the same weak ass shit you do every day. Stop coasting. Challenge yourself. Go do something different. Go swim, flip a tire for a mile, climb something. I don't care what it is. Just do something that sucks. That's how you grow. That's how you cast the mind, how you forge it into something stronger. But here's the thing. To truly grow, you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. And for most people, that's the hardest fucking thing to do. You see, I used to be the world's greatest liar. The person I lied to the most. It was me. You've got to stop running from your past and face it head on. Yeah, it's ugly. Yeah, it's painful. But if you don't go back to those nasty ass places and fix them, you're never going to move forward. I'm not saying you need to air your shit out on a platform like me. But I am saying you've got to own it. Your past, it's yours now. Maybe it came from your parents, maybe from addiction, abuse, trauma, whatever the hell it was, it's yours. And guess what? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to fix it for you. It's all on you. That's why I tell people to stop being afraid of what others think. Stop worrying about judgment. Stop giving a shit about whether people know who you really are or what you've been through. Own your journey. Own your story. Man haters. Don't let those motherfuckers hurt your feelings. Don't give them that power. Use their words, their doubt, their bullshit as fuel. Let it drive you. When you're in the grind and your mind starts telling you to quit, pull up the mental Rolodex. Picture their faces. Hear the words they say, you're too slow, too dumb, too weak, not good enough. Let that fire you up. Turn their hate into energy. And don't just kill them with kindness. Fuck that. Torture them with your success. When they said you couldn't do it, prove them wrong so loudly that they can't look away. That's how you deal with haters. Man, my whole life I had been a quitter. Reading was hard, I quit. Writing, I quit. Shit got tough and I bailed. Every single time. But this time I decided, I'm going to finish. I didn't care if I won or lost. I just wanted to feel victory, the victory of not quitting when shit got hard. That vision, that feeling drove me. I imagined how it would feel to stand there and be one of them. That's what I held on to. That's what kept me moving. The best fucking feeling I ever had wasn't about the destination. It wasn't about the Navy SEAL training or being the 23rd guy in that chair or hearing my name at graduation. The best feeling I ever had was when I was by myself in the trenches going to war with my own damn self trying to lose all that weight. It wasn't about losing 106 pounds. Hell no, it was about starting, losing 5 pounds. That was a victory. 10 pounds. Another milestone. 50 pounds. That was me proving to myself step by step that I could fucking do this. And with every pound I dropped, every step I took, confidence started creeping in. Slowly at first. Then it hit me, these motherfuckers can't do what I'm doing right now. No Coach Joe training, no money. I didn't know shit about losing weight. No blueprint, no guidance, just pure work and sacrifice. And here's the thing. The tools I needed to survive and thrive didn't show up at the beginning. They weren't handed to me. I had to put myself in some deep, dark, uncomfortable as hell places to find them. Toughness doesn't grow in comfort. You don't find strength sipping a latte in a cozy cafe talking about how one day you'll change your life. Toughness, that's just born in chaos. You find it when you're drowning, when life's coming at you full force and you got nothing left in the tank. You find it when you tell yourself, fuck it, I'm not quitting. That's when it happens. You don't unlock that by sitting in comfort. You unlock it by stepping into the fire and refusing to back down. I've been there, man. I pushed myself to places most people can't even imagine. Curled up in a bathtub fetal position. Water pouring over me, pissing Coca-Cola because my body was shutting down. Pain ripping through me like I was dying, and yet I was alive in a way I'd never been before. That's the paradox. It was the worst fucking pain of my life, but it was also the best feeling I've ever known. Because in that moment, I wasn't just surviving, I was transforming. No matter what I do in life, I'm not chasing being number one. That's not the goal. The goal is simple. Leave every damn thing I've got out there. Every drop of sweat, every ounce of effort, every fucking piece of who I am. Being the best doesn't mean beating someone else. It means looking in the mirror and knowing I didn't hold a single thing back. I'm not out here running against others. Nah, man, nah. The only person I'm fighting against is me. Every day I'm at war with myself. I'm questioning myself, calling myself out on my bullshit, holding myself accountable. You can't fix shit until you own it. That's the first step. Until you look in that accountability mirror and say, yeah, this is where I suck. This is what's holding me back. You're never starting your journey. Most people never even get to the starting line because they're too busy living a fake ass life. They're acting like someone they want to be but haven't earned yet. You can't move forward like that. You can't make progress while you're drowning in other people's judgments. When you care more about how others see you than how you see yourself, you're stuck. No forward momentum. When I got to my first hell week, I was still doubting myself. I was surrounded by guys who came from the academy, guys who grew up in good homes, guys who seemed so much better prepared. Me, I had to scrap and claw just to get into the Navy, let alone to make it to SEAL training. Even after losing all that weight and building some confidence, I still found myself thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? But then it hit me. I belong here. I realized it doesn't matter where you come from or what your starting point is. The only thing that matters is what you're willing to do to prove to yourself that you fucking belong. That's the journey. That's the fight. It's not about anyone else. It's about you versus you every damn day. When I was weak, every time shit got tough, my mind would whisper all the reasons. I wasn't good enough. You're a liar. Yeah, you're a fake. You can't read for shit. You'll never make it. My mind had me convinced to run, to quit, to take the easy way out. And you know what that built? It built a stronger, faster, more efficient quitter. That's what's happening to most people right now. We're building a world of quitters because no one's teaching us to train the strongest weapon we've got, the mind. When pain hits, whether it's physical or mental, most people crumble because they've never faced what's really fucking them up. You've got baggage, everybody does. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's some shit that happened to you as a kid. Maybe it's the fear of failure. Whatever it is, that pain doesn't just disappear. When you're in the middle of physical pain, your mind will drag all that shit back up to mess with you. It'll throw every insecurity, every failure, every regret in your face to get you to stop. Why? Why? Because most people don't have the tools to fight through it. They've never built the mental armor it takes to push past the noise in their own damn head. That's why I tell people, ask yourself why. Why are you doing this? Why does it matter? It's easy to sit on your couch in a comfortable 72-degree room sipping a milkshake, watching Navy SEALs on TV and say, I could do that. But when it's 40 degrees outside and the water's freezing your balls off and you're carrying a damn log on your back, are you still that guy? Because if you don't have your why, you're going to fold. When I was in Hell Week, I had my answer. I knew why I was there. I was ready to fucking die for it. So when the questions came, and they always do, like, why are you doing this? How are you going to take one more step? I had the answers. That's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. If you can't answer those questions, you're done. You will quit. I remember when I got the Americanism Award from the VFW. I stood on that stage and all the shit I went through to get there hit me like a freight train. The abuse, the failures, the self-doubt. It all flashed through my mind. And you know what? That moment wasn't about the award. It wasn't about recognition. It was about the fact that I figured out who the fuck I am. That's the biggest trophy I've ever earned. Me. Knowing myself, owning my story, and giving the middle fucking finger to anyone who judged me for it. That's freedom, man. That's what it feels like to live on your own terms. But here's the thing, it doesn't stop. The second you stop pushing, your mind goes right back to its comfort zone. That's why I can't stop. I can't stop reading, can't stop training, can't stop fighting against that lazy quitting version of me that's still in there waiting for me to fuck up. Every day I'm battling the part of my brain that says, take it easy. You've done enough. Bullshit. I haven't done enough. I've never arrived. I'm still testing my limits, still trying to see what I'm capable of. Yeah, I went through SEAL training. Yeah, I ran thousands of miles. Yeah, I broke records. So what? That's in the past. Now I'm pushing my body to keep up with my mind. I'm reinventing myself every damn day because I refuse to settle. And don't think this message is for everyone. Some of why all are so soft, your mere existence weakens those around you. You cry about effort like it's a burden. Well, guess what? Effort is the price of admission to greatness. You don't like the message. Good, block me, hate me, fucking cry about it. I don't care. I'm not here to hand out hugs and cookies. I'm here to make you better. When you start facing yourself, truly facing yourself, you realize this battle isn't about anyone else. It's you versus you. Every doubt, every fear, every painful memory, that's your opponent. And when you stop running from it, when you stand there and fight it head on, that's when you start to win. That's when the real shit begins. I've been through the fire. I've been broken, battered, and left for dead. I pissed blood at mile 70 of a 100-mile race, my body screaming to quit, but I kept fucking going. Why? Because I knew there was more to me than what my weak-ass mind was saying. And when I finished that race, when I laid in that tub shaking like a jackhammer, I didn't feel pain. I felt fucking alive. When you've pushed past everything you thought was possible, you unlock a part of yourself that most people will never even glimpse. It's not about being the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest. It's about being relentless. It's about being the hardest motherfucker on the planet, not for anyone else, but for yourself. Being hard isn't about flexing in the mirror or showing off your fucking abs. That's all surface level bullshit. Yeah, the physical work helped me get here, but that wasn't the goal. I wasn't out there running until my feet bled just to look good without a shirt on. Nah, man, I was doing that shit because I had a weak ass mind and I was tired of it running around in my fucking life. Every mile I ran, every pull up I struggled through, every time I pushed past the pain, I wasn't just building muscle. I was building calluses on my brain. I was training my mind to handle all the shit life throws at you. The judgment, the hate, the doubt, real or imagined. And let me tell you, most of that shit you make up in your own head. But guess what? You still got to deal with it. I wanted to be the kind of person no one could fuck with. Not just physically, but mentally. A fucking barbarian. The kind of person people look at and say, damn, nothing breaks that guy. That's why my book is called Cant Hurt Me. It's not just a title, it's a mantra. It's a way of life. You say it, you believe it, and you fucking live it. And here's the thing. I'm a master at creating enemies. I don't care if you're real or imaginary. If you tell me I can't do something, you just fed up. Because I'm going to do it. And not just do it, I'm going to shove it in your fucking face. You won't even have to ask if I succeeded. You'll turn on the news, see me doing the impossible, and think, how the hell did he pull that off? That's who I am. You know what I realized during my lowest points? In those 3 months of depression, failure, and setbacks, I lived a lifetime in that pain. And I started flipping the script. I turned my insecurities, my doubts, and my failures into fucking fuel. The things that once crushed me became the S that powered me. At first, I thought everyone else was on some pedestal way out of my league. The guys from Harvard, from MIT ones who grew up in perfect families with silver fucking spoons in their mouths. But then I realized I'm catching up. And when you've got nothing, when you've been in the fucking sewer, you start to see how powerful that nothing can be. There was a point when I got fucking sick and tired of being sick and tired. Tired of looking in the mirror and seeing a fucking loser staring back at me. Life had beaten me down, and worse, I let it. That's the truth most people won't admit. We let life make us feel like we're nothing, and then we accept it like it's okay. We sit there and talk about believing in God or some higher power, but if you really believe that, why the fuck are you living like this? You think God put you here to be weak, to feel sorry for yourself. Nah, man, God didn't put you on this earth to be a fucking nobody. But the problem is most people don't understand that. They live in this cycle of comfort and excuses, telling themselves it's okay to just get by. Let me tell you something. Visiting discomfort isn't enough. You can't dabble in this shit. You can't spend 30 days in some hard environment and think you've got it all figured out. That's tourist shit. This isn't a vacation. This is my lifestyle. This is who the fuck I am every day, all day. People ask me, why the fuck are you still doing this? You're 44, man. You've done 21 years in the military. You're a firefighter, a wildland firefighter at that. Why are you still waking up at 3 a.m. busting your ass every single day? Here's the answer. It's not about me anymore. I'm a leader now. And that means I've got to set the example. I'm not just working for myself. I'm working for every single person watching me, every person who's looking for a reason to keep going. That's what drives me now. When the alarm goes off at 3 a.m. and you don't want to get the fuck up, remember, it's not about you. You're doing this because someone else needs to see what discipline looks like. Someone else needs to know it's possible. That's why you do it. This isn't a hobby. This isn't a phase or some cute fucking challenge. This is life. This is what it means to truly live. And when it gets hard, when you're tired, when you're fucking done, there's no coach, no trainer, no cheerleader who's going to save you. It's just you versus you. What you say to yourself in those moments is all that matters. Life isn't handing out participation trophies at this table. You spent your whole fucking life grinding to get here, and now you're sitting with the best of the best of the best. This table isn't just for anybody. It's for the elite. The top dogs, the ones who fucking earned it. But here's the thing. Don't show up looking like everybody else. Don't show up looking comfortable. And when you roll into that room with steak lobster and people dress like they just stepped off a GQ cover, you better come soaking wet, drenched in sweat with a towel around your neck because you just crushed your fucking workout. That's respect. That's showing them you're still working. You're still getting after it. You throw that towel in that fancy ass chair and sit down quietly. Don't say a damn word. Just be there uncommon amongst uncommon people because the work is never done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. And here's the thing about failure. People are scared as fuck of it. Why? Because they're too worried about the noise coming from people who haven't done a damn thing with their lives. 99% of the people talking shit about your failure, they've never even tried what you're attempting. but they've got opinions. Those voices, shut them the fuck down. They don't matter. When I failed the pull-up record, going for 4,020 pull-ups and bombing it, not once but twice, I had 1 million people saying you can't do it. My response, how many pull-ups have you done in your life? Silence. Because they haven't done shit. That's lesson 1. Evaluate the source. Lesson 2, failure isn't the end. It's the fucking blueprint. When you fail, don't cry about it. Don't sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Do a damn autopsy. Tear that shit apart piece by piece. Figure out what went wrong, write it down, and get back to work. That's how you win. Not by running from failure, but by using it as fuel. You think I became the guy who crushed Hell Week 3 times, conquered Ranger School, or did any of the other crazy shit I've done because I succeeded the first time? Nah, man, I failed a lot. But failure showed me the way. The hardest part about failure isn't the act itself. It's dealing with the voices in your own head. Those voices that say you're not good enough. You can't do this. They'll eat you alive if you let them. But here's the truth. Those voices don't know shit. They're liars. You haven't tried hard enough yet. That's the reality. And don't give a fuck about what people think. Most of the people judging you, they've got skeletons in their closets they're terrified of anyone finding out about. They judge you because it's easier than facing their own bullshit. You think that news anchor, that critic, or that person whispering about you is perfect. Hell no. They're just better at hiding their mess than you are. The real power comes when you own your story. When you can stand up and say, here's my shit world. Judge it all you want. There's freedom in that. There's strength in being so real that nobody's opinion can touch you. You become unstoppable when you realize everyone's fighting their own battle. They're just too scared to admit it. And here's the thing. When you start getting after it, when you start achieving big things, you're going to make people uncomfortable. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're a walking, talking reminder of what they're not doing. Your drive, your ambition, your willingness to suffer, it shines a fucking light on their laziness. And they hate it. I can't respect people who dip their toes into the fire and then fucking bounce. That's not how growth works. People sit around wondering, why don't I have drive anymore? Why am I not achieving more? It's because they climb one hill, celebrate like they conquered the fucking world, and then park their ass on that victory for years. Newsflash, you don't get to stay hungry if you're living off yesterday's fucking scraps. Suffering isn't just some masochistic grind where you kill yourself every day. It's about staying uncomfortable. It's about setting up friction in your life every damn day. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It doesn't come from a 30-day challenge. Or a marathon you ran 6 months ago. If you don't set up the next obstacle, the fire inside you burns out. No friction, no growth, that's the equation. Let's be real. When you're sitting alone in the dark thinking about where you came from, it's a gut check. You think my mom was this way. My stepdad got murdered. I couldn't fucking read. I lied about it. I cheated my way through every damn thing. That's your truth. That's your bottom. But then you set a goal and you start imagining how it's going to feel to crush it, to rise out of the hell you were born into and stand on top of something you built, not something handed to you. A lot of people start with the world handed to them on a damn silver platter. Solid family, solid lives, solid foundation. But not you. You start in the dirt. No legs, no foundation, nothing. You had to draw your own fucking legs just to start crawling, and you crawled until you could run. Then you ran until you could fly. And one day you're passing all these people who had every advantage and they're looking at you wondering how the hell is he doing this? That's how you win. You take the shit people think will break you and use it as fuel. You flip the darkness on its head and realize this is what I need. You don't run from the pain. You embrace it. You twist it, you turn it, and you make it yours. Because pain, struggle, and suffering, that's where the power is. I created something for those moments when there's nothing to draw from. No motivation, no inspiration, no fuel. I called it taking souls. It's about looking at the people around you when they're broken, weak, fucked up, exhausted, and using their misery to make a statement. Look, we're out in the sand. Everyone's smoke dragging their asses through the dirt, and I'm looking around. They're done. Weak. Tired. That's when I make my move. I surge. I pull every last ounce of strength from their defeat, their misery, their This sucks mentality. I let them see me go harder, faster, stronger. I take their damn souls. When they look at me with that, how the fuck is he doing this? Expression, I feed off it. That look is my fuel. It's like flipping a switch in my head that says their limits are not mine. Their pain is not my ceiling. Their weakness is my power. And I don't just take their souls. I use it to go further, faster, and harder than they ever thought possible. That's the mindset. When you're down in the dirt, when you're tired, broken, and beat, that's the time to dig deeper. That's when you prove to yourself that the darkness isn't your enemy. It's your fucking ally, man. Energy is fucking everywhere. But the problem, that voice in your head, the one screaming about pain, discomfort, and wanting to quit, is louder than anything else. It's not just loud, it's deafening. That bitch will do everything it can to convince you to tap out. We're done. We're done. It's relentless, throwing you into a spiral of panic and weakness. But here's the thing, you've got to slow that shit down. Take a breath. Instead of letting that voice spaz the fuck out, step back and say, hold up. Let me think. When you calm the chaos, you can find the strength hiding right in front of you. That's the patient calm. That's the key. Mediocrity, though. That shit is running wild. We're surrounded by it, drowning in it. People out here are judging themselves against the weak. 10 people in a room, all mediocre as hell, and you're the best of the worst. Now you think you're fucking great. Get out to here with that. What do most people do? They surround themselves with comfort. They hang with people who tell them what they want to hear. When a challenge shows up, a real one, like someone waking your ass up at 3 a.m. for a run, you don't want that heat. You want the buddy who says, it's okay, man, take the day off, let's order pizza and chill. That's the lie we tell ourselves. That comfort equals success. But that's bullshit. Comfort kills drive. Comfort breeds mediocrity. You know what mediocrity looks like? A one-timer. Someone who did something big, once cashed in, and now they're just coasting, living off their resume. That ain't greatness. Greatness is asking yourself every day, what am I doing now? What's next? If the answer is nothing, then congratulations, you're average as fuck. And the people I respect, they're the ones who are still grinding, still pushing. They're not saying I'm tired, they're saying I'm fucking tired, but I'm still going. Those are the people who understand that knowledge, the kind that matters, only comes through suffering. It's on the other side of pain where you find yourself. That other side is a whole different world. Most people will never see it. But when you push through, when you suffer, when you bleed, you discover something beautiful. You find you. Not the version of you who's comfortable on the couch. The real you. I found that world during a 100-mile race. 24 hours of running at 19 hours, and I hit a point where my mind cracked wide open. I found something I didn't even know existed. A deeper, harder, stronger version of myself. That world. It's not out there, it's inside your mind. But you'll never see it if you let mediocrity run your life. Mediocrity is fucking contagious. Walk into a situation thinking I can't do this and you've already lost. People ask me, how'd you run 135 miles in Death Valley? How'd you do 100 miles with no training? I didn't walk in thinking about what I couldn't do. I went in with a strategy with an open mind. That's where it starts. Until you believe it's possible, you'll never figure out how to make it happen. Your mind won't even bother to try. But the second you believe, when you truly believe, it starts to break things down step by step, tactically. You start seeing the path forward. And that's when you win. Stay hard.